and Scott take on how to trade this oil market. Box spreads, market-beating algorithms, your calls, and we end with a look at today's markets. Our first letter is from Barry, who asks, we just had the biggest one-day move in oil's history. How should one approach this oil market?
Was he talking about Friday? I don't think that was the biggest move. I think last night.
He's saying it's the biggest oil move in history.
Was last
night's got to be. It's up $28.
It has to be,
It's
yeah.
up like 30%. It's got to be.
It's got to be.
So on Friday, oil was
I believe Barry.
I believe Barry too. But on Friday, oil was up $10. I know because I was shorted. Last night I was also shorted, and it opened at up about 10, and at one point it was up
It's showing up. It opened right a little lower, like up $8, and then it traded at 98. And it traded up to 119.48.
Yeah, that was just for a second. So I actually
just for a second. Yeah, I love when you say that.
I know.
Yeah, that didn't count.
Where is it right now? I don't have it on my screen for some reason.
Oil? It's
Yeah.
99.78. It's just under 100.
Okay, so I did trade oil last night.
Okay.
So in the middle of the night.
What did you do?
Okay, so I'll tell you the story. So here I am. Saul takes me to a restaurant on Friday for lunch and gives me food poisoning.
Hey, Saul. Just so you know, take that as a compliment because he's criticizing you, but he means that in the nicest of ways. Now,
best way.
I gotta tell you, when I
well.
talked to him Friday afternoon, he was claiming 100% ownership of this restaurant, saying, "Oh my God, amazing!" Okay, now. That's how it starts. Now I'll let him finish the story, but now it's your fault.
Well, we
of
both
course
got
it is.
food poisoning on Friday.
Yes.
Not knowing that we had food poisoning, I thought I was dying from stomach flu, and I don't know how you felt, but you probably thought you had something. You didn't know it was food poisoning.
Well, I asked my friend ChatGPT, and I figured it was food poisoning.
Do you know the nice thing about ChatGPT? It's like,
Yes.
it's like like for me, you're only kind of the average of all your friends. And most of my friends are not that bright. So like you have like the IQ level of my friends is probably, 90 to 110. But ChatGPT is like having a friend with 160 IQ.
Right.
So that's
it's funny because you say that and then you think that like you're attacking your friends, but you're really attacking yourself because I guess you're making poor choices in friends who are
I know. So but ChatGPT is like any kind of AI is like having a friend with 160 IQ, which is cool. Anyway, so I think I'm dying, not realizing that it's food poisoning.
Right.
And so I'm watching it last night. I didn't trade for the first like couple of hours because I tried to buy bonds, but I missed them twice, and I was like staying away from oil because I didn't know where it was going to stop. But then then when it got to I saw it make a high. I didn't know it was 119, but when I saw 117 something, and then I decided that when it got back down to 116.66, I would go with the devil.
Oh.
I sold it, and I put an order in to buy it $5 lower.
And filled in 2 seconds.
I got filled. The beep went off like 2 seconds later. Now it's really like maybe 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have covered those. And then it dropped another, $11 or $12 after that. I bought it back at 111.66. And so I did trade a bunch of oil last night, which was good for a change. But my overall position
had traded. I don't know what a normal day is for
400,000, 500,000 contracts.
Okay, it traded that before the open.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, right now it's 635, but I looked. This morning. It was 500,000 contracts that traded.
I would say on an average day, I don't know exactly. I mean, lately it's probably a little higher than that, probably up close to 1 million. But I would say in normal times, oil trades a lot like bonds, and they trade about 400,000 or 500,000 contracts. Like the notes will trade 1 million contracts, but the oil and bonds will trade. Bonds maybe 300,000 to 400,000. Oil maybe 400,000 to 500,000, depending on what's going on. And
all right, so Barry wants to know, what do you do?
Right.
You just said how you do it.
Okay, so here's the key,
How should
Barry.
Barry approach it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you get moves like this that are just, this is very similar to the silver move, and
Like identical, just faster.
Yeah,
The time was compressed.
I mean, we closed at 91 on Friday. We were traded 119. Then we traded back to 97 this morning. here's the way I trade it. Either you're scalping it, and you can scalp it using /CL. It's not as big as a silver contract, which is nice, but that is $1,000 a point. So if oil goes from like 100 to 101, that's $1,000, one way or the other. And then, or you can do, you can trade the micro contract, which is 1/10 the size, which is /MCL. And MCL, so if oil moves $1, it's $100, and that may be more in line. Those are the two contracts you can trade, either CL or MCL. I would stay away from all the different stocks that track because the ETFs and the stocks that track oil are just absolutely horrible to trade. The markets are wide. The oil markets, the option markets are really good, and now they're a couple ticks wide, but usually they're one tick wide and usually get filled on spreads, one tick off mid-price. So I would trade the CL options or MCL, but MCL options are a little bit wide, so I'd rather you trade CL options. And that's and when you say how do you approach this oil market, well, I mean, for me, I'm a seller of rallies, but I'm a contrarian. A lot of other people are buying dips. I don't really know. That's.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody was trend trading this the last couple of days, it was a good few days. I mean, if they got out.
Says oil surges 35% this week for biggest gain in futures trading history dating back to 1983.
Yeah, what you don't hear right now out of Washington is, man, we got gas prices under control.
No, what I love about
not.
the pump, what I love about it is when oil comes down, the company's like, can't lower prices. We got to wait. It's in the pipeline. It's months. It's this. Oil goes up. They're changing the price like on every 15 minutes. It's like, we're raising oil prices at the pump.
Yeah.
So apparently they can raise them much faster than they can lower them, but it's up a lot. I think it's up 35, 40 cents just in the last week at the pump. That's a big move.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
while we're
significantly
speaking,
that's significantly less than the move in oil itself.
Well, yes, but it's,
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what a gallon, I don't know, 35 cents or 40 cents a gallon is a lot. I mean, how many gallons?
But at this point, it's speculation, no? 'Cause
Hello,
there's
electric
no shortage
cars.
yet.
Hello, electric
You have a lot
cars.
of electric cars, but while we're talking, oil just rallied $4.
Ugh.
It's 104 and change right now. It's just rallied $5.
Do you want to cancel the show and go back to trading?
No. You know what? I will say that the craziest thing about oil right now is that it's really moving tick for tick with the stock market. If the stock market goes higher, oil goes lower, and if the stock market goes lower, oil goes higher. And it's
or vice versa.
I mean, last night when oil made its high, Barry, the
Stock markets
S&P's
at the low.
SPOOs were down 150.
Yeah, I think it's the other way. I think it's as the stock market is moving, oil's moving. I think that's the driver. So, there's fear, and listen, there's reason to be fearful, but this, I'm going to say to Barry or to anybody that wants to trade, if you've never traded oil, and I have not touched this market yet, but when I say the market, the oil market, but if you have never traded oil, this is the prime reason you trade small. Prime.
Just use MCL. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, just trade small.
Yeah.
And
oil's a smaller contract than
it's
silver.
Moving. I mean, you can put, if you think it's going to be in a range, if you think, listen, we just had 25-point range, there's plenty of opportunity on both sides of the market, which is awesome.
Oil's a smaller contract than silver, way smaller. It's smaller than natural gas. It's similar to gold, similar to trading gold, but trade the micros first and see if you like it. It's super liquid. It's fun to trade. And
I mean, if you like action,
got a hunch, bet a bunch.
Yeah, if you like action, this is what you want. You want SPOOs down, you want SPOOs having a range of whatever they've had, 130, 140 points, 160 points, and you want oil, you move in, $25-30. It's great.
By the way, the IVR in oil, I don't know what it is.
130.
130. It was 123 on Friday. I sold a lot of premium. So far, no bueno. But
typically when you're selling premium, you don't want to see a 30% move overnight.
No, but I'm selling crazy wide strangles I sold these mostly on Friday, a little bit this morning, but 150, 65, that kind of strangle.
Wow.
I mean, I'm almost 100. I'm $85 wide in oil. That's crazy for April.
Wow.
And you're collecting more than a couple bucks.
Okay. Let's do the next one. What does this box spread do for you? Says Howie.
Howie, what does a box spread do for you?
Yeah.
Amazing. You can wrap things in it. It's awesome. Now, let's talk about what a box spread is. So a box spread is literally a call spread and a put spread where you have a vertical, either long or short, on the same way. So you're long a put spread, long call spread, or you're short a put spread, short a call spread, then you're long the box or short the box. So what does it do for you? It is not a retail strategy. So it was a trading strategy on the floor. And the reason that you would put a box on, let's just say it's the 100, 105. As a market maker on the floor, we would trade verticals all the time. Verticals would come in, and then you would look to box it off. What boxing it off means is, again, if you bought a call spread, you're trying to buy the corresponding put spread. Why do you do it? If you can pay $4.75 or $4.70 or $4.65, whatever it is, and it's $5, you know you've just locked that money in. If you could sell it for over $5, you know it's only worth $5 at expiration. So it's a way risk-free, and there's a cost to carry. So, minimal as a market maker, a little more as a retail. But there is, if you're buying the box, you're using cash. If you're selling the box, you're generating cash. So if somebody's trying to generate cash, you could go in and try to sell a box. Again, I wouldn't touch it. The one box that some people, and typically these are for much larger accounts, is that the one box that somebody can trade, and it's very different. It's the SPX because it's cash settled, European style, meaning there's no early exercise. You can buy a very wide, deep in the money call spread, put spread box. So you could do like a 2,000 point box, and you might pay, depending on how far out you go, $1,800, $1,850. It trades under, and the reason for that is that's the corresponding interest rate that you're going to get paid if you hold it to expiration. Again, not what I put in the retail camp, but some bigger accounts do use that approach as an interest rate generator.
Yeah, the SPX box trade at interest rates, not really price. So
Correct.
They're trading right now just a little under, wrapped around 5% when risk-free rates are 4%. So, but you can understand why. It's a way for traders to raise capital, and it's a way for you to get a slightly higher interest rate than you would on a CD. That's why people do it. The general world doesn't know about it, but most traders know about it. I don't use it, but some high frequency firms that we invest in, they use it all the time.
Yep. It's pure. It works.
It's clean,
but
no risk.
I remember writing them up in the tickets on the floor.
Yeah, those were a long time ago. Yeah.
All right. Next up. Oof. Do you think that AI algorithms will alter market trading over the next few years? With the help of Gemini, I've been writing some categorical regression analysis that seem to have a great deal of promise, at least for predicting tomorrow's up-down movement in the SPX, and I have to assume that the big quant firms are way ahead of me. If AI can significantly shave the odds regarding predictions, how do you think that will alter the current structure of zero DTE options trades? This is our friend Wallace.
It's interesting, Wallace. I think AI algorithms will alter the way we trade, but not for the reasons that you said. I think AI algorithms will alter the way people do research, the way they learn, the way they structure their trades, the way they monitor their risk, the way they build their portfolios, all of the above. I think it's going to make everybody significantly smarter, more mechanical, more disciplined, more efficient, all of the above. I do not think in any way, shape, or form that any algorithm that anybody writes will have the ability to predict what the market's going to do in the next day, in the next hour, in the next whatever. I think that's categorically impossible, and it goes against everything that kind of I believe with respect to the randomness of markets. But I do believe that AI algorithms are going to be a huge benefit to individual investors. It's going to make us all smarter.
I'm going to throw the possibility that, listen, we don't know what we don't know. And I agree with you that from where we're sitting right now, it's not possible for anybody to predict market moves. Having said that, I don't know what this is capable of. And I know you've been doing some research on quantum computing. I've been doing the same thing. Listen, you could say, why do you think we believe that quantum computing can solve math problems that have never been solved before? Why do we think that, quantum computing can come up with drugs faster? Because it's able to do things that our brains, I don't think we can comprehend. So I'm having a hard time believing it's going to be able to predict the market in any meaningful way, but I'm open, and let's see what it does. But Wallace, my comment to you is, the quant firms, yes, they are putting a lot of money into this, and whatever you have, not minimizing it, my guess is they're much further ahead. But whatever you have, try it. And as we always say, whatever works, whatever you're trading, or however you're trading, if it works for you, who cares what other people think? Keep doing it. If you're making money, you're successful doing it, and whatever your system is, it works, keep going.
Yep.
Could not agree more. Don't be shy. I'm Tom.
Yeah.
She's Sol. He's Scott. And it's 8:16.
Give us a call. 989 Lossdog.
If you had stomach
9:16.
flu,
What am I saying?
If you had stomach
8:16.
flu or food poisoning over the weekend, okay.
Yeah, if you got food poisoning at a Chinese restaurant in
On the
uptown
north side of Chicago.
No,
Yeah.
don't say it. It was really good food.
See,
It was
now,
delicious, but something must have been, I don't know.
I have an issue. Because based off of the review on Friday, I really want to go.
Yes.
But now hearing what you're saying,
No.
but I think that you're making, I don't know that it's food poisoning. I think I got to risk it for the biscuit and give it a try.
I think you should.
It's definitely food
I'm gonna
poisoning.
risk
We
it
had the
again
same
because
thing.
it was so delicious. I just think we ate too much.
Well, we didn't eat too much. I
we
don't
did.
eat too much. Okay.
Hey, Saul, that's an offensive comment to say.
I know.
That is so awful because there's nothing.
Right?
Do you know how many times I've overeaten in my life? That has nothing to do with it.
Bite your tongue, young lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overeating doesn't make you sick.
It's
I
made
did
me sick
overeat
before.
once.
Yes, if it's full of oil and garlic, it's very heavy.
To the point where I said, I've never said I have to go on a diet. I actually said after that night, I hit a record weight and I said, I'm done. I have to go on a diet. I did lose some weight, but overeating's not good.
No,
Anyway,
it isn't.
I'm on a diet. I'm dieting right now, just for the record. So so food poisoning is good for diets.
Okay, can we talk about what things you can and can't eat if you're on a diet? So can you help them with this?
I believe me. I am trying. I offered my services for free.
I will tell you
to
the
them.
only thing.
I'm like, I can be your personal 8 hours a day nutritionist. No,
Yeah, he's
I got
not
this.
interested.
No.
I got
Wait,
this.
Saul.
I know
has
what
he
to do.
Saul, is he giving you this?
Yeah. He's like, oh,
Okay.
shut up. I know what to
Right.
do.
All I had yesterday was a Culver's frozen lemonade.
Seriously. Frozen.
It was
Wait a
like-
minute. In fairness, if you're going to say it, I'm going to call you out. You did try the milkshake. It was just a little too creamy for you.
It was too rich.
Yes,
I couldn't do
exactly.
the milkshake. It was too rich.
See, but
Who
that's not diet.
in
That's
their
not
right
diet
mind.
food.
Yes.
It's all
and
ate
with
the
food
entire
poisoning
day.
says, I'm going to have a
All right.
milkshake.
So quickly, Sol, do you believe in the philosophy on a diet? Eat what you want to eat. Just watch the quantity as opposed to
Yes.
restrict.
Yes.
Right? As
Yes.
opposed to denying yourself the
You're
pleasure.
asking
Yes.
a freaking skinny girl.
Well, how do you think I stay this way?
But see,
It's
this
not- you don't
Sol's
have the
na-
same-
I
Sol's
eat
natural
well for the
weight-
most part during the week, and then on weekends, I indulge a
Yeah,
little.
Sol's natural body weight is about 260.
Yeah.
See, she's on a diet. Look at this. Look how she see.
Yes.
Oh my God! I can't take advice from her. Okay.
All right, well, we're going to take a call. Savannah from Chapel Hill. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
How are you?
Good.
Good,
How
how
are
you
you?
doing?
What's going on?
I'm doing good.
What's your question?
Sorry, my question is, I'm wondering what is one mistake that you made early on in your career that actually helped you become successful later?
We answered this one, and I remember I remember how I answered this. Before I went to the floor, I was living with my mom, and she was managing a little bit. My parents were divorced, and I didn't know anything about options, but I wound up getting a Wang computer, and I wrote this little, I forget calling it a spreadsheet, whatever it was, and it was giving me indicators for options, like stuff to buy, and I wound up making some good money on it. It was the dumbest thing in the world, but it worked, and it got the bug. I caught it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. And in hindsight, it's embarrassing, but it worked. So that for me
hey,
for
Savannah.
sure, because it took me down this path.
All I really remember is that there's a time when we first start out when you're like super cocky, like you think you know everything as a kid. And I remember like, going to the floor, starting our own business and building all this stuff and thinking, oh my God, we know so much more than anybody else. We're so much smarter than everybody else. And then immediately realizing, oh my God, you know nothing. And we're not smarter than anybody else. And so I think that, I think the realization that, that clicks in at some point, which is you've got to earn this and you really don't have any kind of advantage. And I think that was the single most important thing. Just kind of knowing, at first you're just going on straight bravado. And then after that, you're starting to figure out, hey, you know what? I've got to do this. What I found, and I know this is kind of old school, is you just got to work hard. You got to outwork everybody else. You have to outwork everybody. I mean, very few people make it to the top by not outworking everybody else.
Right.
I was at an event. I'm not gonna say what it was. It was an industry event last week, and they had a couple panels. And one of them, they brought up a Finfluencer. She's 25 years old.
A Finfluencer.
I wanted to throw up.
Oh.
She's talking about Gen Z. That Gen Z is right. That's the 27 to like 12-year-olds. Yeah. She's in that. She's like, I'm at the upper end of that range. And she's telling the crowd, like, you guys are so old, like, you don't know anything. Gen Z. So then she says Gen Z wants to learn, but then Gen Z wants to be told what to do, but then they want to make a decision as to what to do. And then she got into AI, and she's like, look, well, we want AI. We want to say to AI, we want to retire in 30 years with $100,000 a year. Bum, 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 bum. I need this. Go do it for me. And I turned and I looked at somebody that I've known for a long time, and I looked at him and I said, if that's our future, we're effed. Okay?
Yeah.
But talking about wanting to work, and you want to work harder than everybody else, and she's saying like they don't want to work and they just want to be told what to do and just make a lot of money, and that's it.
Savannah, if you outwork everybody else,
you win.
You win. This is all it is. We always like to say, we found out very early on, we're not smarter than anybody else. We just work a lot harder. And that's been the key to us building, multiple businesses worth a lot of money, has just been outworking everybody else. And I don't think that ever goes away. I really don't. I think that that's going to be the key to your generation's success, is he or she who outworks everybody else, because everybody's smart. And he or she who outworks everybody else is going to be the most successful.
And AI will hopefully be an amazing tool.
Yeah, it'll be your
us.
160 IQ friend.
Yeah,
Hey,
moving forward, it's going to be an amazing tool, but it's not going to be a substitute where people are, you just go, you go do it for me.
of course
No,
not.
of course not.
All right, Savannah, we got to run. We got a lot of people on.
Mom's
Thanks so
wish.
much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to take Jimmy from Connecticut.
Yeah, we got a bunch of lines open too. We've got like 3 more lines open, so
Hi,
don't be
Jimmy.
shy.
Hi guys, how you doing? First time caller.
Awesome.
Running
Thank
about a 70K account. Just started playing with the options and looking to use some margin to buy some stock so I sell some premium. Trying
Good.
to figure out like
Good.
the wheel systems and things.
Yeah. Because
So what do you
stocks are cheaper now than they were. I mean, the market's just sold off. We're at 7,000. We're 66.70 right now. So, we're probably a little less than maybe 4% off highs, closer to 5. So I think things are cheaper than they were. The wheel strategy though is different. The wheel strategy means you're going to sell some at the money puts or some just out of the money puts, and if you get assigned, then you're going to go sell calls against it. But the other choice is if you want to buy stocks here, which I kind of like. If there's a bunch of stocks that are kind of beaten down, and if you find some stocks that you like, doesn't matter what they are, just stocks that you like.
Yeah.
And you can sell some. I would sell the 30 or 35 Delta call just to get your feet wet and trying this, and don't go crazy.
Baller.
You have a $70,000 account, so you do like 100,
Took
200.
a long time to get there too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So you do like 100, 200, max 300 shares, that's it. And you go 1-to-1 with your calls against your stock. Like I said, sell 30 delta call. Just find a couple of stocks you like and try it. Mix it up.
I'm just curious, why would you do that when vol is getting pumped up? Why
because
would you
because he
sell
needs the experience and stocks are cheap. So
Yeah, I got a little bit of gambler in me, so it's kind of like let's use their money, rule of thumb. So the other thing is too is I'm playing with an E-Trade account, which I don't think is so option friendly.
It's okay.
So
they're okay.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But Scott, I figure use other people's money. I mean, what's the worst that could happen if I have enough to back it up? So
Jimmy, mix and match between some stocks and
Jimmy,
some short puts.
I will just comment for you and then for anybody else who's listening to this.
Thank you.
If you're at a firm and you're saying E-Trade, and I'm not picking on anybody, but if you're at a firm that has limitations on what you're able to do, and most do, in the options world, you can always reach out and see if you can, what they call, upgrade your account so that you're taking it from a suitability standpoint, you're taking it to another level, which might allow you some more flexibility.
Jimmy, anybody at
they don't
E-Trade?
allow me to do like verticals and stuff. They keep me at a certain level, which I'm trying to grow. But I was thinking
you can reach
but
out
then again,
to them and ask.
Just
what
talk
you
to them
need
and tell them.
And just talk to them. And anybody listening to this, just talk to your firm, because from my perspective, and people will ask this all the time. Why do I want, for example, portfolio margin? I'm not saying for you, and you don't have the money for it.
Don't go down there.
My feeling, and I know Tom's going to agree to this. Everybody should have every tool available to them. Why limit somebody to say you can't trade a vertical? It makes no sense whatsoever. So you can go buy options. You could sell a covered call, probably a cash secured put.
No, Jimmy, at E-Trade, you can do anything you want to do. Just up your level.
No, you can't unless you're approved.
I know, but you have $70,000. You can do anything you want. Just tell them to up your level. It's not a problem.
I appreciate it so much. Been watching you guys from the very first show. Wish I came across you guys so much sooner. Just figuring out the options at 55. It's like, come on. I'm going to do my thank you guys so much, and I'll keep watching, okay?
Thanks, brother.
Hey, 55 is the new 35. You got plenty of time.
That's right. 55 is the new 35.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
for calling,
Have a
and
great
call
day.
us again.
Bye-bye,
All
guys.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to take Adam from Japan, who has two
Hell yeah.
questions.
Hell
Hello,
yeah.
Adam.
What time is it in Japan? It's like.
I know.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Not much. Thanks for taking my call. So I got two questions for you, and the first one's directed directly to Tom. So Tom's been long the yen for as long as I've been watching him. So my question to you, Tom, is at what point are you no longer long the yen? Like, what's it going to take for you to say, like, I'm neutral, or,
I don't think it's going to happen. It would have to break under 60 maybe, but I have been long the yen. You're right. I've been long the yen now for I want to say probably the last 4 to 5 years, and I've never had any position on in the yen other than long yen futures or short puts in the yen. 90% of my positions in the yen are just short puts. And I will tell you, for the last 4 years, it has been a great strategy. Like it's paid a lot of money every year.
I need to jump in here and say, I finally get to say this. You took me down. I sold some puts in there. I sold the 63 puts. I'm losing money. It's your fault. I get to say that finally.
Okay, well, finally Scott did something, and now Scott may ruin it for everybody else because he's the KOD. But Adam, I mean, it has worked. The only time the yen didn't work was about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was trading around 80, and it dropped down into the 60s. But the last couple of years, it hasn't really moved much. It's been trading, wrapped around between 63 and 70, and it hasn't moved in like 4 years. And I think the put selling approach, I mean, calls would work too, but I'm a little more worried about an explosive move to the upside than the downside. The yen to me is like it's like the Japanese central banks. I feel like they're a little like, some of the central banks in in Latin America and places like that, where they just stabilize everything. And I feel like that 63, 64, 65 level, they don't want it to go much lower. They seem to not want it to go much higher. I don't know. It's worked. That's all I can tell you. It's a losing trade. It's a losing trade this month, but it's been a good trade.
Okay. And the second question I have for you, and for Scott and Sol too, but it's kind of generic, but it's something I've never kind of heard asked on the shows. But at what point does an iron condor become a synthetic strangle? I know, like as you widen it out, your buying power gets reduced. But is there a difference in delta where you can kind of gauge? So I got caught up in the oil move, and I noticed that like the short call, maybe it was Gamma that squeezed it or how it works, but the short call, it exploded. But the call that I bought, and it was more of a synthetic strangle than an iron condor. But just it kind of crossed my mind, like when does an iron condor become a synthetic strangler? Is there a number and delta where we know?
Yeah, that's a very fair question. And what we used to say is when the strikes are tight enough that you're doing it for the trade to be simply capital efficient, then it's a iron condor. When you're doing it so that the strikes are super wide, and you're doing it so it essentially is a synthetic strangle to start with, and that super wide is very subjective. But I would say that if you're talking about gold, if you're more than
Oil.
15 or 20
oil.
strikes,
He did oil.
I'm sorry, if you're talking about oil,
Yeah, oil.
if you're more than 15 or 20 strikes, then you're a synthetic strangle right from the start. Like, how wide are you?
Man, I got out. So being in Japan over here, I was able to see that big move, and I got out at a bad, I got a bad feel. But I think I was at the, maybe the 20 delta and bought the 5 delta.
Yeah, that's when you do 25 delta wise, you're talking about that's a synthetic strangle from when you put it on. I mean that's just essentially the only reason you're buying the wings there is for protection and for a little bit of capital efficiency, and then you're buying outlier protection. But 25 is a synthetic strangle. If you were doing 2016 or 2018 or 2015, that's an iron condor. 25 is a synthetic strangle.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that's a synthetic strangle.
Yeah, good question. Thank you.
Right.
Adam, what time is it in Japan?
And it's almost bedtime. It's 11:30 here. So
And-
it's been a long day watching oil.
Where in Japan are you? Tokyo?
I'm in Yokohama, so maybe an hour south of Tokyo.
Nice.
All right, man, don't be
All
shy.
right. Yes,
Call in, Adam.
call
Thanks
us
so
again.
much.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Bye. All right, so Maria in our dog pound says, how do y'all feel about this war situation? Are you scared of WW3 or a global recession? Am I over worrying?
I'm not scared of WW3, and I'm only a little scared of a global recession. I don't think you're over worrying though, because how do we feel about a war? We feel like it sucks. Like, who the hell would say that?
First of all, it's not a war. Okay.
Okay, I'll make a comparison.
It's a conflict.
It's a conflict. When Russia went into Ukraine, they said, you know what? They thought it was going to be a weekend maneuver, and Ukraine would roll over.
Yeah.
And now, multiple years later, what is it? 3 years later, 4 years later,
Almost 4, yeah.
Ukraine is hanging on quite well, and it's been an absolute disaster, and it's destroyed the Russian economy. It's destroyed their status in the rest of the world, and it's essentially ruined their country. Not to mention it's ruined Ukraine too, but it's been an absolute, there's no other way to define it than an unmitigated failure for Russia. All I can think about is, in the case of the US here, is this is going to be an unmitigated failure as well. Even if we win, we lose. I mean, there's
How do you
nothing.
define winning?
What?
How do you define winning?
You can't define winning. Nobody wins in the case of war, and this could really have an impact. If this thing lingers on, it's going to have an impact on S&Ps, on oil, on gold and silver, on every single thing, and it's going to have an impact on it. It's going to have an impact on U.S. status around the rest of the world. What? All of a sudden we think we're Russia? And now you have idiots in the White House talking about, oh, Cuba's next. Oh, give me a break, okay? I mean, let's be really careful about what we're doing here, because we do not want to follow, well, somebody might want to follow Putin's footsteps, but the rest of us don't.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic. I don't think it's going to be a World War III, but I think this is going to be long drawn out. I think we are ultimately going to have boots on the ground, which, they're saying that's never going to happen. So if you listen, it's going to be over in, again, as Tom said, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month. We'll see if this goes on longer, and the fact that Iran just named, the son Khomeini as the new supreme leader, and he's already said basically F off, we don't care what you think, we're staying the course. So, does might make right? No, it doesn't. Why are we there? Nobody knows. We're not being told while we're there, why we are there, excuse me. So it could be, maybe, possibly they had weapons of mass destruction. They didn't, or they're going to attack Israel. Who knows? To me, it's a bunch of lies that we're being fed. Unfortunately, we're going to lose a lot of lives here. And we'll see. I think this move right now, the VIX is suggesting that there's no fear. But because the VIX is up $1. I mean, future.
Yeah, but how many people have to die for some stupid ass politicians? How many more young girls have to die? How many more people? All that rumors that this wasn't true. We didn't bomb a school. Yes, we did, and it's come out. We absolutely did. And I mean, it's ridiculous. Innocent. Do American servicemen have to die? I mean, this is ridiculous. The whole thing is beyond ridiculous.
I personally, I'm looking at this saying, unless this ends quickly, and I don't know how it ends quickly, this is going to
the war can end quickly, but the conflict could stay going on for another, however many years. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah.
we shall see. Time will tell.
See.
Yeah, no, but there's nothing good about this, Maria.
No, bad situation.
No, there's nothing ever good about war.
No. Okay, next up from our letters. Why are Tom and Scott so bearish on gold and silver? Are they in denial? Says Eduardo.
Eduardo, what do you mean denial?
Denial.
I'm not actually, I don't know. We were bearish on gold and silver when silver had its monster run. But right now, I'm just short premium on gold and silver. Right now, silver today is, let's see, it's unchanged. And gold's down 60. I mean, we're having a good day in gold and silver today because being short premium in there is the best play on the board. And that's what we have on. So our gold and silver positions are actually working. It wasn't worth the risk we took. That's for damn sure. But now I'm starting to make some money in there. And so...
yeah, and I want to answer this also to say that this had nothing to do with gold and silver. They were just the products, or silver.
Yeah, we don't care what it is.
It just erupted.
Yeah.
So it could have been any product. I mean, the only one that I think I'm not sure that I would ever trade is natty gas. Even if natty gas gets back up to $8, $9, $10 again, I'm not sure I would touch that. But any of these products, like oil, you have oil moving the way we were just talking about earlier today. So we look for price extremes. And for me, the silver move, obviously I was too early. My positions got pretty big and it was painful. But it's nothing personal. It's not that I hate gold or silver. I just look at this and go, it doesn't make sense to me where it's trading, at the current price. And I'm not saying here. I'm not saying at $84. I mean, I'm short a little bit of silver, but that's just a trade. It has nothing to do with it. But at 120, it's a different story. So, we just look for price extremes, and when things are moving, as Tom was just saying, for him, some stocks look relatively inexpensive. Today, are they? I have no idea. We've dropped 4 or 5%. Are we going to drop 10%? Then you're going to go, well, I guess they weren't inexpensive, but relative. So, he's looking to maybe stick his toe in the water. So it's just price moves. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, is it possible and cash efficient to buy VVIX shares or other instruments to hedge against a major downturn in the U.S. markets, focusing on maximizing available cash and buying power for trading defined risk options strategies? Friend Martin.
Unfortunately, Martin, VVIX, which is the volatility of volatility, is just an indicator. It doesn't actually trade. So VVIX, which I'm not sure, it's probably, I don't know where it is now, maybe 110. Where's VVIX got?
136.
Oh my God.
Down 388.
I have not looked at it in a while. But so the volatility of volatility is 136. A normal price for VVIX is, let's say, 90, 95, in that range. And so at 135, it is, it's 40% above its normal level. Now, what I will say is that could be a good indicator for you that maybe volatility is a little rich here, but you can't trade VVIX. You can trade VXX. You can kind of trade UVXY, but it's not really liquid. You can trade VIX, or you can trade the futures VXM, which is the micro future. those are the things you can trade. Now, or you can just sell premium in the SPY, or you can sell premium in any marketplace. Doesn't matter, any major index, it's the same exact thing. You know, it has a direct inverse correlation with volatility and the major market indices. So you can just sell premium any single one of them. Just find the most liquid. But I mean, first of all, is it cash efficient to buy VVIX shares or buy volatility here? I would say absolutely not. Would you want to pay like almost record prices for volatility right here? I mean, I think you'd have to be crazy, no matter what you think is going to happen. I don't think there's never been a time outside of maybe 2008 or something, or maybe 2020 early on, where buying volatility, you know, other than for a short-term trade, ever worked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my answer would be stay, run, don't walk
Just
away from that trade.
I like your comment. Use it as an indicator.
Yeah, use it as an indicator. I use VVIX as an indicator. I just haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, our friend Marco says, I've learned how to trade thanks to you. Tasty mechanics and everything in between. My journey started in 2018. Back then, I was 28. I lost money and by some miracle, made it all back. What advice would you give me? Don't give up, or perhaps just throw the money into SPY, since I'm obviously a bad trader.
So, Marco, as I'm reading this, all three of my kids had the same fifth grade teacher. And one of the comments that I loved that he would say to his students when he was teaching, and it's funny because, like, Tom, if you tried to teach your kids math now, they would say, stop teaching them because it's all old school. So the same thing with you.
Yep.
But what they would say is, I'm not good at math. And his answer was, that's impossible. Let's figure out where you're getting stuck in the problem.
Yeah.
And then he would break it down, and then they would say, okay, here's where I'm getting stuck. And to them, they would just say, okay, I'm not good. I don't believe that you're a bad trader. I don't think anybody's a bad trader unless you have zero discipline and you just, you have no rhyme or reason for what you're doing. But assuming you're putting thought into this and you're putting time and effort into it, you lost money. Question is, what were you doing that caused you to lose money? You made money back. What did you do that got the money back? I don't think either of those were just luck. So my answer is keep going, put the time, put the effort in, and if you need to, then modify your trading approach, but don't give up. And I personally wouldn't just throw money into SPY and say I'm done. But try it, give it a chance, and really put the effort into it. There's tons of information out there about how you can learn, and there's no better way to learn about it than to actually do it.
Hey, listen, if you made the money back, you did something right, like Scott said. And, just like there's no bad dogs, there's no bad traders. It's just sometimes people just have a few
There could be bad
hurdles.
dogs.
There's a few hurdles that are trying to, you got to figure out how to get over. I would just stay really small, try some things you haven't tried before, and don't give up. I mean, it's just, markets are pretty damn random, and learning some strategies or, some learning some cool things to do in the financial markets is going to help every other aspect of your life. 2018, you were 28, so let's fast forward 8 years. You're 36 right now. You can learn so much from understanding how financial markets work and risk taking and decision making and strategic finance. Man, don't give up at all.
Yeah, you're still so young.
Yeah,
So young.
yeah.
All right,
You need this in your life.
Yes. Cole in the dog pound says, what's next for oil? 80 or 120?
Yes.
No, it's not a bite. It's not yes or no.
Yes. It is going to go to 80
So
or
120 is 62%.
Where's oil right now, Scott?
80 is 38%.
Oil is 100, spot 88. So it's 101.
So it's right between the middle of that. I think,
60% say 120.
yeah, I figured 60. I thought it would be higher, say 120. I think oil trades under 80. It wouldn't surprise me if the real risk in oil here is to the downside. And I could easily see oil trading into the mid to low 70s in a very short period of time by April expiration.
Just out of
Okay.
curiosity, what would have to happen in your mind for that type of a move to happen? Because if oil is not moving through the Gulf countries, if it's the Strait of Hormuz,
Don't give me fundamental crap. I don't even care.
really, so that's why oil went to where it went. So that wasn't.
I
a real
understand.
move.
There's a lot of emotion tied to market prices and
Right.
things like
Okay,
that.
I'll take 120. I think you're out of your mind. I think we're going to have elevated oil prices for the foreseeable future.
I think that
I agree with
elevated
Scott.
oil prices help absolutely nobody.
Yeah,
And
Trump and his friends, people in the oil industry. That's what helps.
elevated oil prices help nobody. And the thing is, as you're getting closer to midterm elections and things like that, the one area that you can't defend is higher oil prices. And I didn't want to get into a fundamental argument about this. All I think is that every time you have everybody on the same side of the market thinking that oil's going sharply higher, and I think the biggest risk trade right now is that everybody's long oil, and if you weren't long oil, you're buying it here. And I think that oil probably settles somewhere between 85 and 65 in the near future, very near
Okay.
future.
We'll see. Dog Pound, our friend Paul says, does trading help a marriage?
Trading help a marriage? For sure. For sure, Paul. You learn
As
how
long
to,
as you're making money.
you learn how to deal. You'll learn how to deal with a lot of stuff that makes the things you have to deal with in your marriage seem like child's play.
That's funny.
Yeah, and so yeah, it helps a marriage. Most traders, yeah.
Okay.
What does it? You don't think so?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
said yes.
I think
so.
I think you learn that it's the bigger fish to fry type thing, and you learn in life that there's bigger fish to fry sometimes.
Okay, next. Longtime employees often carry their departments through thick and thin, and if nearing retirement age, are taken advantage of, while new hires are paid the going rate. What can the longtime employee do to persuade management of their worth? Says Edmund, our friend Edmund.
It's a tough situation for companies, Edmund, because for existing employees nearing retirement age, you don't have any leverage, and for new hires, there's a going rate, and that's not something that's very negotiable because everybody kind of knows or close enough to kind of what their value is. So this has probably been a challenge since the beginning of time.
Yep.
It depends where the leverage is. If you're 23 years old and you're in a field that, you have to remember, most people nearing retirement age have incredible know-how and an incredible skill set of what they do, but they're probably not ready to be difference makers and differentiators in some of the fast moving and fast changing areas of technology and other things like that. So, it's hard to line up and say that it's all the same thing. I don't necessarily think it is. I mean, if you're nearing retirement age, I don't know that you have a lot of leverage, but, that's just a negotiation that you have to have because there's probably a lot of value to what you bring to the company, and they probably need you more than, they probably need you a lot more than they're letting on to, and they don't want to lose you, that's for sure. But I don't think you can compare it to what's happening with young people coming into the marketplace because they have a new set of skills, and it's a different set of skills, and those rates are kind of pretty straightforward.
My ad there would be, don't ever stop self-advocating.
Yeah, right.
So sit down with your manager. Sit down, depending on where you are in the business, sit down with them and just explain to them, say, look, you think you're worth some more money, you think you're entitled to it, and see what they say. 100%, if you don't ask, it's probably not happening other than just the standard, whatever the increase is that the firm is giving on an annual basis. So, just sit down with your manager, ask for some time, sit down and just explain your case and see what happens.
I would say keep learning.
I mean,
too, keep
we-
learning all the new technology so that you're not left
Yeah,
behind.
that's fair, but sometimes it's hard. But we pay a lot for loyalty, and we pay a lot for. It's very important to us. So somebody that's super loyal through thick and thin, that we can count on, man, that's really valuable. But
Yeah.
Again, I think you're trying to compare apples to oranges here, and I think that's tough.
Okay. Next up, I have tried trading strangles. When is the best time to take profits? Seems one has to wait just a few days before expiration for the debit to be low enough to have a profit. Or is it better to roll at 21 days, recentering as required? Says our friend Susanna. Is that my mom? Mom?
Is your mom trading strangles now? I'd be impressed.
I would too.
The best time to take profits, based on all the research we've done over the last 15 years, is when you get. First of all, the best time to take profits is whenever you want. So don't wait around because somebody else says the best time to take profits is at 50% or at 21 DT or any of that kind of stuff. The best time to take profits is when you feel like, hey, this is a good number. Waiting to expiration for the debit to be low enough to have a profit, you must be selling something that's super cheap. Because that's the only reason you'd have to wait until...
It's not going to move.
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling something for like a few pennies, then yeah, you're going to have to wait right till expiration because those options never come in, but until just before, till they expire. But if you're selling something that has a little bit of meat to it, like a 20 delta call and put, or 22 delta, 25 delta, 16 delta, whatever it is, you're going to get to that 50% number relatively quickly in the first 24 days or something, if you're doing it 45 days out. So, or something close to that, depending on what volatility does. Sometimes it's better to roll and recenter. If volatility stays super high, if the IB rank stays super high, I like to roll out in time and recenter. But if volatility comes in at all, then you get time to take it off, wherever it is. Don't overthink strangles. If you have a nice profit, just take them off. Move on to the next trade.
Okay, great. There you go, Susanna. We're going to take Eric from Fort Worth. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey guys. Hey, first time caller here, right outside Fort Worth. So appreciate you taking my call.
Awesome.
I actually posted in the chat, but I figured they'd go ahead and put me through. So I'd like to ask you this question. I've got a short straddle on micro CL futures that's at 71. It expires March 17th. There is no real bid at the short call strike. So now trying to figure out what my options here. Should I just go ahead and let it expire, take the, I believe I would get assigned two calls, two contracts, two MCL contracts.
Are you short two strangles at 71 strike?
Straddles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be
Straddle.
assigned.
I'm shot. Well, I rolled it. Originally it was a strangle, but I rolled up the short puts.
Okay, where's your
straddle now?
Okay, where's your short put at 71?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if the markets never get narrower, even though they should still trade at a certain price, whatever, but if they never get narrower, yeah, you're going to be long two contracts of / MCL. Short two contracts at on March 17th. So you'll be short two MCL contracts on March 17th, and then you'll have to decide what you want to do against that. You could sell, for example, against those contracts, you could sell like the 100 put.
Yeah.
If you want to. I mean, that's probably going to be, I don't know, $12, $10, $12, something like that. I mean, you could do that now if you want. You could buy back your MCL puts, which are probably at a couple pennies. And
30, 40 cents.
Are they that high still? 30, 40 cents? Okay. So
they're about 50 cents.
Okay.
Yeah, about 50 cents.
But you could buy those back. You could buy those back right now if you wanted to, and you could sell the 100 puts in. You could sell the 100 puts in April, and then come March, you'll be short two futures, short puts. That's not a bad trade.
Okay.
I mean, those puts right now don't do you any good.
I'd have to roll. Yeah, I'd have to roll though, because those MCL contracts for March expires. I'd have to roll those two contracts out to April, right?
No, you don't have to do anything. No, you just leave it.
Okay.
Yep, you can just leave them. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
You just leave them.
Okay.
You'll become short two. You'll become short two futures, and then you could sell the April puts right now, and you collect at least whatever $12, $13, and then you'll have a better hedge on for yourself.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can do it as one trade.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You can sell.
Okay.
You can sell the April puts, let's say the 100 strike or 95 strike, whatever you want, and you can buy back the March puts as a single trade.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Eric.
All right.
Okay, we're going to take Hans from Switzerland. Hello.
Hey, Hans.
Good morning, everybody. Hans from Switzerland, a longtime fan of you all. I met Tom once at a money show in San Francisco. Must have been at least 15 years ago.
Wow. Good memory.
Wow.
Yeah, you were just a normal dude with your hat there. It was just really great. You were sitting there at a little booth, a little table, and then you did a presentation about it was natural gas and selling strangles.
Oh, cool. Nothing ever changes,
And
by the way,
anyhow.
Hans. Nothing ever changes.
So I run a group, a WhatsApp group centered around selling options,
Okay.
and we really follow you religiously.
Okay.
Meaning, the selling small and selling frequently.
Yeah.
And so, I really have to thank you for putting the word out there all the time
Thanks, man.
about that. And we have an annual meeting that's centered around Investors Business Daily. I don't know. I think you know Mike Webster
Yeah, sure.
from IBD.
Yep.
Yeah, you've been interviewed there a couple times.
Yeah.
So we do an annual meeting. It's a 2-day event that my daughter and I are putting on. It's a good 100 people live. They come in person, then another couple hundred that are listening in via Zoom. So what we're doing this year is we're going to add another day for option sellers. It's going to happen on October the 16th, Friday. In San Francisco, and I know it's a long shot, but we would love to have you, Tom, there. I just want to throw in something to gain a few brownie points. I sent you a bunch of people over to Lossdog. I think I'm like number 3 or 4 in the ranking.
Love it. Love it.
So I
Hey,
was
send
hoping
me,
if
Hans, send me an email at tom@Lossdog, and I'll take a look at all the details. I can't make any promises now about
Perfect.
October.
Really appreciate it.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try and bring them.
Sol's always trying to get on the road. She just wants,
Yeah.
she's dying to travel with me again, bring back old times. But because we used to travel together. But send me an email with all the details. I can't tell you about October right now, but we will be going back on the road later this year, so we'll see what happens. But just send me an email with all the details.
Yeah, that'd
Perfect.
be fun.
Yeah, Jeff already gave me his email address, so I'll just email it to him.
Sure.
Okay, that's fine.
I know we're super busy.
That's fine. I'm just Tom at
Cool.
Lossdog. Just send it to me.
Oh, I see. Okay, perfect. I appreciate it.
All right, sure.
Thanks, Hans.
Thanks so much, guys. I'll probably
Thanks,
be calling
Hans.
in again, but you're our mascot, Tom, for our group. So
Nice.
I love it.
really
Well, I
be
can't
proud
turn
of
down.
you
I
for
can't
so
turn
many
that
people.
down. So
Right.
thanks, man.
Thanks for calling. Okay, let's go to Beth before we run out of time. Beth in Iowa. Hi, Beth.
Hey, Beth.
Hi. How are you doing?
We're great.
Good. How are you?
Okay. Well, struggling because I have, I think, 2 episodes playing, or it's the same episode, but they're delayed apart. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. My question is, wait.
We're waiting.
Okay. I don't know what the hell's happening. I think I screwed this thing up. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to have to hang up. I mean, I'm having technical glitch. I'll have to hang up.
Hey, Beth.
I'll try
Beth,
calling back.
Call back
Yes.
tomorrow. We're almost
Call
out of time
tomorrow.
today, but
Okay,
call us
I'll
back
do
tomorrow.
It. I'll do it.
Because we
Thanks,
want
guys.
to talk to you. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, let's go to Market Talk.
All right. Well, things are moving.
Nice little rally. So at one point today, they were down 100 when we were talking the show. Now they're only down 45. High of the
There
day.
you go. The power of the show for the bulls. Oil not moving. It's a little over $100, so we'll see the 120 to 80 range. I like that. SPOO's down 45, gold down 54, NASDAQ down 101, silver up 33. VIX future is only up 30 cents. VIX cash is down 91 after, I think, being up 4.
That kind of surprises you, doesn't it?
Yeah, this surprises me a lot.
That VIX cash right now is
Surprised me.
saying, well, first of all, it's at 28. So let's be realistic. And I think it got a little. It's rich as hell, but we got to the point where the VIX cash is telling you we're not crashing today.
Correct. Today. Totally agree. VIX cash is saying poo-poo to the down move.
Yes.
Today.
Today.
Does not believe it, but that could change. Anyway, what's moving? You've got stocks have moved all over the place. You've had some stocks that were down 15, 20, 25 hours that are now unched or close. So lots of opportunity. And the takeaway for me here is, again, if you're looking to be active, you can't ask for better movement than we're seeing right now. Especially if you're able to sell some premium, around the opening, it's probably come in a fair amount already, as we were just saying.
Well, 28, 29 VIX is just massive. So, I'm going to check I got to check my positions. I think they're better now than they were when the show started, but we'll see, because I'm short a lot of premium. But who knows? It's still pretty damn rich. But it just doesn't look like crash mode today to me on any level.
Nope. Totally agree.
Way too many stocks are trading, Apple unchanged, AMD, it's down, AMD's up actually, Google's up, Micron's up, Nvidia's up. There's just, it's weird. Bitcoin's up, ETH is up. It's not a crash day.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
Well, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Don't forget, we're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week from 9 to 10 Central Time. Scott, Sol, myself, and we need your calls, and we also need you to sign up at Lossdog.com and tell as many people as you want. I want to run out of the $1 million.
Yes, please.
We want to run out.
Let's do that. And like this video and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you tomorrow, and let Slash take us out.
Have a good day.